So I have two comments. My first one would go to obviously the president's candidates as well as every other running candidates today. So one of the big, as a former president myself, one of the biggest paradox of Drexel BSA is that we are both a home and we are trying to be inclusive. And this is a paradox because a home is inherently exclusive. People don't come into your home, you invite them. So with that in mind, to every candidate out there, think about what kind of BSA you want BSA to be, because it's important to think that while having external connections is good, but losing your home is not a very good thing either. And the second comment I want to make is congratulate you guys on being up here running for president, because this is one of the hardest positions to be in, because you are entertaining three different audiences. You're entertaining Vietnamese students from Vietnam, you're entertaining Vietnamese Americans who doesn't really know us, and you're also entertaining other Americans. And this is a problem exclusive to BSA itself, but also to think about, one of the biggest thing I want you guys to think about is that when you talk, when being a president in general, what you said is very scrutinized, and as well as how you present yourself as well. And with that being said, yeah, I just want to congratulate you guys on being here. Thank you.
Yeah, this is gonna go off, go further from details comment, because I know that throughout the years there's a lot of, not just among Vietnamese American, but also there's a lot of people who are Vietnamese being here. They also don't enjoy working with BSA as well. So I mean, aside from the fact that we want to expand BSA to other people who are not Vietnamese, how do you keep the engagement with the Vietnamese who are here but doesn't enjoy BSA? That's for both of you.
Thank you for the question. So as I mentioned in my presentation, during the internal focus part, I was talking about how I want to not only increase the quantity of event, but to also diversify it to meet like the expectations and also the expectations of different expectations of different types of members. So for this year, most of the events that we have organized, like poker, game night, TVM, I think they're more geared towards more lively and energetic members. That's why when I make my presentation, I include how I want to create more diversified events, making it more inclusive, like community service, fundraising. I think more people are more interested in those type of events. And as for the reach out part, I think we, as an organization, we also have an advantage of having the access to the list of members of Vietnamese students and also incoming freshmen. So it would be great if we can start reaching out to them in the beginning of the year, invite them to our TVM and expose them to our plans and organizations so that they can take an interest in us and also participate more in our events. Thank you.
Okay, so in terms of economic, to say, there's always a demand, and our job is to meet those demand and to supply the satisfaction. So I think to the non-Vietnamese students, they are craving for Vietnamese food. They are craving for a more diverse culture, anything like that. So we could provide them with the food, with the workshop, and as I mentioned, of the activities. But for the Vietnamese students, I think the most important thing that like they're craving for is a sense of being secure and the sense of having friends around. So I think like to engage the Vietnamese and to engage the non-Vietnamese, there are like two different ways that we could approach. And I think like our job is to balance the two different ways, but not like to focus on the Vietnamese or the non-Vietnamese.
I
Does
have,
that answer your question?
Well, I just want you guys to speak to others, whether you answer the question in some way that not
I have a list of questions from current President Jack and ex-President Hang. First of all, quick question for Minh. Are you studying abroad or like going abroad this fall winter?
Yes, so my internship is like an international course in Vietnam.
Okay.
So I'll be traveling back to Vietnam.
This coming fall winter.
Yeah, like for the whole summer until the winter of 2018.
Yeah. So a question for you is how are you going to like manage like everything while being abroad?
Okay, so like as I mentioned before, my solution is to like maintain the workflow, which is the most important thing. So I have experience like remotely like running events. So like right now I'm remotely running an event in both Saigon and Hanoi, which like our organizing board has more than like 60 members. So I think that would not be like not to be so hard for me to do that.
Okay. Another question for you is that you haven't been involving much with VSA, so why present now?
Yeah, so like over the past year, I'm not really interested in the VSA, and like right now I'm running for the president because like I believe that I could make VSA great again. I could make the VSA become like a culture that like everyone can involve in, can take part in, can participate in, and like my goal is to like providing satisfaction to like every single VSA members, and also to not leaving anyone behind.
Okay. To Quỳnh Anh, being a president means you have to go out and reach out to a lot of people. But after 1 year working with you, I got an impression that you're not always comfortable with like outgoing, connection. So how do you plan to improve this as a and to like bring VSA a lot of students on campus?
Thank you for the question. So as I already mentioned in my presentation, I'm well aware of one of my shortcomings that I might not be the best networking person out there, but I'm always willing to learn and try. And so by working with this year eBoard, I learned that there are many different ways. I mean, I learned that from our current president, Jack Woodhead. There are lot of different ways that I can work on and improve these skills, and I will always, and if I were to be elected, I will reach out for his help and advice on how can I improve in that specific area. But however, like throughout this presentation, you guys can see that there are a lot of members in our team that are like very superb in networking. And as I mentioned before, VSA, eBoard, even VSA or eBoard, it's just not about me. It's about everyone. So as a team, we help each other fill each other gaps. So knowing that this is my shortcoming, I personally will work on it, but then I know that there are also other members like vice president, marketing chair that can help and support me. So we make sure that I work closely with them to improve on what I need to, and try my best to extend VSA networks to other organizations.
Right. So I suddenly realized that there's a lot of you guys who are going into fall, winter's co-op, and then some of you are even work overseas. And I have worked through co-op in Drexel, and I'm going to tell you a lot among you are there are a lot of freshmen, I'm gonna tell you that working on co-op is tough. Like, and maybe your job is not that tough, but working on co-op is tough, and it's really tough to balance out the time that you spend on co-op, your own life, and also to participate in committee and different activities in college. So then this question is open to other candidates as well if you have an answer. But how do you balance the co-op time? Some of you being abroad as well. How do you balance the work between co-op and the work within college? Because I know that it's really difficult to find time to do so. And even in mind that the less time you spend on VSA, the less effective the group as well is. And given that a lot of people are going to work on co-op and many members are not having the time within the board itself, how do you deal with that?
So to answer your first question, I think that's more like a lifestyle question. So I think to balance like work and then like extracurricular activities, it is all about like prioritize the works. So I think like a smart person will know how to balance it, and if you are not really smart, I mean, no, I'm not saying this. What I'm saying is that I think like every registered student has the capabilities to balance between work and study, because like we are in such really intensive like quarter calendar. So I think that would not be like such a difficult job to do.
Okay, so in answering Anhil's questions, I must acknowledge that I have an advantage that I will be co-op during the spring-summer cycle, which will be not until March next year. So I will have a lot of time to be on site and to closely manage Trixel DSA. But however, I think that as Anhil pointed out, stress and also time management is very important, because as a student who, especially with the especially being in a school with co-op system, it's essential that we be able to balance out everything and manage everything effectively. And I think that throughout this past year that I was in Trixel, I was able to demonstrate that ability, because as you know, I was working simultaneously as well the facility chairs for Culture Show and also e-board member and there are times when that we have like overlapping events such as like organizing for TED and also prepping for Culture Show, which is like a overwhelming amount of work, but I was able to like pull it through and manage all of them. So I think that I have the ability and capability to overcome these types of obstacles. Thank you so much.
Also, to answer to your second part of the question, so I think like it's just all about like as a president, you have to be transparent about your agenda, your motivation, and your goal. So it's just about like to let the people know like what you're going to do, and then to set up the task like correctly. And I think that like to maintain the workflow is the more important part. And because like as I mentioned, is to decentralize all the duties and the work. So I think like it's just like I'm not here in the fall winter. It wouldn't be like a barrier for VSA to grow.
All right, hold up. Follow up to your answer. You mentioned about the importance of transparency within
Yeah.
Drexel, and as the president, and you're all going to be gone. How are you going to keep it transparent for like everyone, especially the members, while you're not even here at all?
I'm just gonna ask you like a very simple question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that like VSA is trying to do?
Promote the culture of Vietnamese people.
So like it's just like all about like promoting the culture and like being like a cultural hub, as I mentioned. So you have to, but I mean that's a really abstract concept to promote the culture. I mean, what are you saying? So it's about like
What are you saying?
Yeah, so
Transparency.
it's about like concreting like what we have to do, like doing workshop, doing events, and then when we have like all the like when we solidify the events calendar, we'll know like yeah, on this day we will do this, and on that day we'll do that. So I think like it's just all about transparency.
Alright, yeah, I have a quick question about that because sometimes I know that it's not just setting the calendar. You have to actually dive in and go through with them. It's like, so for example, in TED, we have a lot of stuff to do. We have a lot of decoration. We need human resources to be on site to help us like carry out all those stuff. So how are you gonna do about that?
So, like, I have experience in remotely working on like projects, as I mentioned. So, like, I'm currently doing project in Vietnam right now,
Yeah.
in both Hanoi and Saigon, which is like two really far away like locations.
Yeah.
And like, I'm working with not just like a small airport, but with like 60 people. So I think like if we could like let like each individual like knows what they are doing and what will they do next. I think it's just like to manage and then like to maintain like the process.
Okay.
Question from ex-president Chị Tú Nguyễn. She actually,
President.
it's pretty good though. She actually has three. So first is, so actually for both of you guys. First is, what is your philosophy when running your team? Second is, most candidates only focus on the Philly area to try to like connect people. But what is your plan to reach out to other organizations in the Northeast region? So let's say New York, it's like BNNY, that's group, and then Boston, something like that. And the third question is, how will you improve relation with alumni?
Should we just pick one because there are other people wanting to ask questions as well?
So we have a time limit for each question.
Yeah,
to
can
make
she
sure
pick
everyone
one?
can answer.
Yeah.
Actually, I can answer from the one with the Northeast, because we actually have the Facebook page for the Northeast VSA. So if you want, I can invite President Moon into that one, and you guys can connect with that one.
Yeah.
So they're hosting like soccer games.
How would you improve relations with alumni?
Okay. Yeah.
Both of you guys.
So as I mentioned, again, as I mentioned in my presentation, for example, like the co-op stories, I said that it's more intended towards like freshmen and sophomore. But however, as guest speakers, we invite, for the position of guest speakers, we invite a lot of our alumni from different range of majors who come here to contribute and share their ideas to the freshmen, and that's one way of engaging them. It's the same for the resume workshops that I proposed. However, if I think that if possible, we can make it like an event that is exclusively for alumni, like alumni reunion or something like that at the end of the year, or so that we can create networking networking opportunities not only for members within BSA but also BSA alumni who have contributed to us a lot throughout these years. And yeah, that's one specific event where we invite all of them. It will be a great opportunity for everyone to bond and expand our relationships with each other.
Alright, so as I mentioned, my goal is, as a family, no one is left behind, and so are our alumni. So I think my solution is to like create the professional events and like maybe create like culture show, TEDs, any other events that could reach out to the alumni and to like establish the connection between the alumni and the undergraduate. Because like I've encountered this problem with my organization as well. It's not like how to connect the expert and the beginner. So there's absolutely like gap, a really huge gap there. Like between the alumni and the undergraduate, there's gap, in terms of distance. And also like, maybe like the alumni, they wouldn't have like so much time to involve in the VSA anymore. So I think, so as my tagline is to make it simple but significant. So like as the important events such as TED and culture show, we should make it like more better, and then we should reach out for more alumni to welcome them to like join our community.
Okay, so I have a question for Min. As you said before, you haven't joined any of our events, right? You haven't go to any of our events of VSA. And I'm just wondering, how are you planning to improve something that you don't even know? What is it about?
So it's to me now.
That's to you.
Okay, so as I mentioned, so like I'm aware of that, like VSA has the 4 biggest events, which is TED Culture Show, Game Night, and Cop Stories. So I attend like 2 of them,
Okay.
and now I'm being called like inactive in our community.
Okay.
So I think that's really unfair because like we have like so few events to people to be able to participate in, and also like just because like at those time like I have something else to do that I couldn't like participate in those events doesn't mean that like I don't know what it is about. I mean I could still like talk to my friends and then ask them how it is. I could like follow this page and then like see what's going on out there. So yeah, I think that's just an assumption.
Okay, and now what's a specific plan that you have to improve the VSA events? Well, except for having more events.
So I think to improve like an event, that's a really like broad question. So there are many like there are many aspects in terms of an event. So like the first is the program. So like we have to, so as like I attend the TED event, I noticed something that like the program is not really structured really well, because like as many people kind of gather and then talking, there are also people that are left behind and then don't know what to do, and then they are not really into like gamble and poker too. So I mean, those aren't really great though. So I think like we have to develop the program also in terms of marketing like aspect. We could reach out for more people, because like I noticed one issue, like a huge issue with VSA is that like we only connect to each other through Facebook, and then we are not really like care about the rest of VSA page or like even the website. So I think like having a page, having like an active Facebook page, an active Facebook group, and then having an active website would be like our solution.
I have a follow-up question to Brian's question. So I know this is not the first time that you want to contribute and to join VSA. As a matter of fact, I know you applied for Director of Marketing for Culture Show this year, and we interviewed you. I didn't interview you, but I know that we had an interview with you. And unfortunately, that position went to another person, and I didn't have a chance to work with you. But the unfortunate thing is that after not being chosen to be director, I haven't heard back from you or see you in the culture show. I think that I didn't see you.
Yeah, I didn't attend the culture show.
Yeah, and then I see that you went for director of marketing, not any like member or chair position, but for director position, and this year for VSA president position. So my question is gonna be like very straightforward.
Yeah, like why it's so high?
No, I don't doubt your motivation or intention, but I just want to ask like which one do you want to go for, like the title or the organization?
So like the reason that like I didn't apply for all of the positions is that like I wouldn't think that like I could satisfy my ambition for VSA. So as like running for the marketing board and then like for the president, so I could like using my skills to like grow the VSA to like a better state. And also like the other position doesn't really fit me. So
your answer is like go for organization, right, in your mind.
So like you're asking like why I didn't
Like which motivates you, the title or the organization?
So I would say like,
let me add something. Like if it's the organization, I think anyone would be willing to accept other position if it can contribute to the organization.
so I just think like as an organization and as a family, as like the rest of VSA, the most important thing is that like everyone could be happy and then be secure in our whole community. So I think like the reason that I didn't like apply for any position, it's not like about fame, it's not about like anything. It's just like I feel like I'm not really fit into those positions.
Okay, thanks. I'm not trying to intimidate you. I just try to understand like what motivation.
I have a question for Quỳnh Anh since people have a lot of questions for me already. So in your presentation, you did mention a career fair for international student, right? And as a senior, as well as an international student in this particular political climate, I think it is a very good idea. So I just want to know in a little bit more details how you would execute this idea.
So honestly, I learned about this idea from our former president, Hyan, because he approached this year award and talked about how the Office of Provost wanted to like sponsor BSA events for next year. And so we had like a kind of small casual meeting and to track like some ideas about what we can do for this event. Basically, it does not need to be like a separate event from our call stories, but it can be like a combination of both. Like for the first part, we can have like call stories like this year where seniors, upperclassmen, alumni share their experiences, and then the other half we can have like more casual part. It's more like make it more like a career fair where we have like an open space with different booths for company representatives to talk and meet with our seniors and to exchange information, to network, and to make it better for them to be able to seek for their future jobs. So that's like just the overall plan, but I haven't like go very deep into details about how to carry that out. But the overall, the big picture is that to work closely with Sunbright, and as they have a lot of connections to co-op system and companies and also other organizations like Center for like business majors, SASE for engineering majors, and support our members.
All right, so I have a question for both of you. So what specific measures would you take as the president when your team members disagree with you like completely and they would not do whatever you assign?
So I think so like they wouldn't like even if I do anything, they wouldn't do that job. Is that what you say?
What? Like they would.
So like no matter like how I persuade them, how matter.
Yeah, like for example, they have like a very very different opinion, and like completely different. Like they not want to do what you
So my
say.
answer to you would be democracy. Yeah, that's just like how ancestors solve problems. So if like that person didn't want to do the task, I would just like ask the whole group, like, can you do like another task? Can you like contribute in another way? And like if that person is just so like stubborn that he or she cannot like realize their own problem and then their own like ignorance, then I would just like maybe like you could do like contribute in the next event or like doing something else.
I also agree with Min that eventually democracy, if there's like a strong disagreement between two people, then democracy is like the best result we should go for. However, before getting to that final step, I think that as a president, there's a lot of things we can do. I can do. First, I am gonna be the listener. I want to listen to their opinions or why they have that disagreement, what are their problems and concerns, and try to like address them and also explain my point of view and raise my opinions and try to like first come up with compromise. However, at the end, if that doesn't work out, then we have to, because eBoard is just not about me and another person, but also other people. We have a team of like 6 to 7 people. So everyone voice and opinion matters. So if the majority of us see that, this opinion, this event is more feasible, then we will just go for it.
Thật ra thì cái này của chị là comment cho hai em là thật sự ra đối với Minh á, mọi người hỏi em như vậy là cũng có lý do. Tại vì đúng là nếu mà em tại sao mọi người lại hỏi em như vậy mà em mặc dù kêu là em không khi mà em đi những event vừa rồi thì em kiểu cũng vẫn thấy chưa tốt nên là đó là tại sao em lo cho năm sau. Nhưng mà mọi người in doubt em như vậy là vì sao? Vì thật sự nếu em thực sự care about VSA á, mình cũng có thể theo strategy khác, là em có thể reach out những cái người mà em nghĩ mà những giống như người ta đã từng là e-board hạng, người ta e-board VSA, và em hỏi người ta về những kinh nghiệm đã làm việc trước mà những cái mà đã tốt này nọ để em học hỏi. Nhưng em lại không theo you didn't go that way, là em kiểu em chịu là em nghĩ là idea của em vẫn sẽ tốt hơn, và em chịu là em đi theo một con đường một mình và em run như thế. Thì có thể là cái này em cũng chưa nghĩ tới hay gì đấy, thì đó là chuyện, thì cái đó là do em, thì chị cũng không mai, nhưng mà nếu mà have a better chance thì đáng là em nên như thế. Còn at the end of the day á, thật sự ra chị cũng muốn nhắc với mọi người là president không nhất thiết phải luôn luôn là người phải là reach out, cái đó là tùy thuộc vào personality. Ví dụ những năm vừa rồi chúng ta có Jack và Hải Anh là hai người rất giỏi về networking skill, nhưng cái này nó phải depend vào mỗi năm, và mỗi năm có những team member nào và e-board member nào. Ví dụ người này giỏi networking nhưng mà người ta không run president, vice president vì người ta có những cái skill khác và người ta muốn người ta không comfortable run những vị trí cao như thế, thì có nghĩa cái này là một teamwork, người ta có thể bù trừ với nhau. Thì cái đó là Quỳnh Anh cũng đã nói rồi, nhưng mà chị cũng muốn nhắc để cho những năm sau cũng phải nhớ là không nhất thiết lúc nào president cũng phải là người giỏi networking và nó tạo ra thành một cái mindset, có thì càng tốt, nhưng là nó tạo thành cái mindset lúc nào cũng sẽ kiểu như là cứ nói về president là phải có tố chất như thế. Cái thứ hai là lastly là president phải và cả team phải luôn luôn nhớ là cố gắng truyền được cái lửa. Ok là mình nói người này không được cái này được cái kia, nhưng mà phải nhớ là được truyền được cái lửa cho những năm sau, để cho những năm sau freshman vẫn muốn tham gia và người ta vẫn muốn join VSA. Em đã nói.
Thì em chỉ muốn add up với comment của chị, đấy là thì như chị nói là đấy là em follow cái idea riêng của em. Thì em nghĩ là tất cả mọi người ở đây ai cũng có một cái bias riêng của bản thân.
Đúng không?
Thì cái cách mà em giải quyết cái vấn đề đấy là em transparent về cái vision của em trình bày tất cả mọi thứ. Em nghĩ là VSA có thể làm cái này, có thể làm cái kia. Và em nghĩ là nếu như mà nó là lợi cho cả toàn bộ mọi người và toàn bộ mọi người đều agree về ý tưởng đấy thì ok em sẽ làm. Nhưng nếu bây giờ ví dụ mọi người có một cái vision khác, ví dụ mọi người nghĩ là VSA nên làm một tổ chức mà nên focus vào professional event hơn là spreading culture các thứ, thì em lại nghĩ thì lúc khi đấy em sẽ không là president nữa. Tại vì em biết là khi đấy nếu như mà em là president em sẽ không thể nào làm tốt nhất và thực hiện được cái vision đấy tốt nhất cho tất cả mọi người, thì em sẽ nhường lại cái role đấy cho.
Thì cái này là chị cũng respect cái decision của em và cái cách đi của em, cái này là tùy vào mỗi người. Cái này chị chỉ nói là ví dụ nếu mà em muốn mọi người không nghĩ em như thế thì em có thể go that way.